Hi everyone, this is Karan, and with me it's Sharath. Together both are starting a new series, basically tinkering around servers, primarily for this time FreeBSD's 12.1 server. The idea behind this stream is that we'll together pair program and pair debug on a FreeBSD server, and we'll try to set up a DNSCrypt server this time. It will be a public facing DNSCrypt server which resolves DNS queries, and it upstreams to Unbound. So we'll try to do the setup in FreeBSD Jail with something called as iocage, and we have already created a droplet with Terraform. So in this idea behind choosing FreeBSD is that we are already familiar with Linux, and we use it day to day in our work and at our personal laptops as well. So the FreeBSD is very interesting in the sense that it believes in more control and running less components and basically no magic, while Linux is filled with a lot of chaotic components inside, and you basically don't have full control on what you are running. Apart from that, we just want to play around with FreeBSD and learn something new. So that's the whole idea, and we want to do it together. So it's basically interactive, and we share we learn how to set up everything from scratch. We both don't have any prior experience in FreeBSD, so it will all be basic stuff. We'll Google around, we'll open forum posts or documentation, and we'll just figure it out from scratch. So that's the idea, and we have an agenda listed out for today's stream. First part, the droplet creation, we have omitted from the video because this is a very generic task and we don't need to include here. So basically we are running a droplet with FreeBSD image, and it has a ZFS file system on it. All the other things will begin shortly. So you can see we'll configure the firewall and sysctl configs. So one of the cool things about FreeBSD is that a lot of companies use for networking technology, basically for their networking stack. Since FreeBSD runs very minimal components, it's possible to just gain maximum performance out of a FreeBSD box using basically tweaking kernel parameters with sysctl. So we'll read up on that. We'll read up on something called as Jail. Jail is much prior to what Docker is now. Like basically the concept of containerization and isolation of process amongst between the namespaces. This concept came from Jail. So we'll read up on that. Then something we have, so basically we'll learn how to configure a jail application with iocage. Iocage is basically a jail manager written in Python 3 for FreeBSD. Then we'll run Unbound. Unbound is basically a DNS resolver which upstreams to the root name servers. So there's no there's no intermediary between us and the root name servers, so we always get the latest records from the name server directly, and we can enable caching on our end, so the queries are returned faster. So we'll configure Unbound for all of that, and then we'll just test out a configuration with something drill. You can consider it like a dig equivalent in FreeBSD. The final part would be setting up DNSCrypt. We'll learn how to configure this in iocage, and we'll again test the config with a client which understands DNSCrypt. What do I call DNSCrypt? What?
I mean, basically understand DNSCrypt protocol.
DNSCrypt protocol, yeah. And in the end we'll just share the DNSCrypt stamp, so that and we'll put it on the DNSCrypt resolver page for the public to use. So it will be a public facing DNS server in the end, run on FreeBSD. Yeah.
So I just want to add some new things, that jail basically is kind of combination of chroot and networking namespaces. It's just like a container, but it's much more isolated than a container.
Right.
Yeah, and it's much more battle tested.
Okay.
Yeah. So the only thing here is that jails are kind of like a base container. You can create a container in Linux using just chroot and namespaces and all. Like in like 100 lines of code, you can create a container. But which containers is a common thing in Linux from almost 2003. But after Docker came, it made it so easy that it became popular now. So jails are kind of like the older containers. They're not the newer containers. So we have to still manually configure everything, like setting up a gpool for the underlying stories for the container, setting up the networking, setting up everything. So that's the reason we are using iocage. Iocage is something like Docker, so it becomes very easy. I mean, you can basically like a Docker image, you can just download uh, a particular release, like let's say FreeBSD 12.1 container. Just the same way, you can have a FreeBSD 12.1 jail here. Just download it and configure networking and everything. So it makes it pretty simple, everything.
So you will compare iocage with Docker?
Yeah, I would compare iocage with Docker. I didn't find anything like Docker Compose for FreeBSD. Maybe there is something, but yeah, I didn't find anything like that.
All right. But does this have any concept like a Docker file equivalent?
No, not exactly. I mean, it does have. So iocage doesn't have. So there is a jail.conf.
Okay.
So jail.conf is basically where you'll configure all the jails. So you can just add it there. So iocage automatically does it for us.
All right. Okay.
So there is another concept, is just like Docker in iocage, called templates. So template is basically like you can have a machine, you can have a jail, right? You can take a snapshot of it, like whatever packages and everything which is there. Since it's like the Docker image basically, you take a template and you can use that template multiple times.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
we'll log into the server.
Yeah.
This is our FreeBSD server.
Yeah.
We are running FreeBSD 12.1. Okay, so we'll install iocage on this system.
Before that, let's change some sysctl parameters. One thing I can think of right now is max open files, right?
Right. That's a very common.
We should first change that.
Okay, I think we need a better shell also here, probably.
Yeah. I guess there is already bash here. I'm not sure. Can you see? Bash. Okay. So before this, we should set up the port system, right? So ports is a cool thing. It's basically like AUR for FreeBSD. Right. So ports is basically it's a community-based thing. Anyone can upload their ports. And the cool thing about FreeBSD ports is it has a lot of new software. A lot of people maintain new software here. So yeah, it's pretty easy to install everything here, just like in Arch.
Alright, so first we'll configure ports.
Yeah, so for that we can try doing package install, PKG. PKG is the actual package manager.
Got it.
Yeah. So we can try PKG install. If ports are not set up, right, it will automatically set up.
So I'm guessing it's called ports.
Yeah. So ports is basically like a Git repository, right?
Right.
But FreeBSD is a subversion, I guess, instead of Git for everything. It's still old, but yeah. Yeah. I guess I think it's already set up. I guess.
Okay.
So you can just do package install bash.
Yeah. Alright.
We can probably change the shell. Yeah.
We'll change that
So
for
for
every
changing
user.
the shell,
Yeah.
yeah, then we can just do ch sh hyphen s. Yeah.
So we can do pitch bash.
Yeah.
Let's log out and log in to validate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems to work.
Bash.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright. Yeah.
So we should install some other packages also, maybe curl and drill.
Curl is already there,
Okay.
and drill as well.
Is also there. Yeah. So yeah, we don't need to install this.
If we need something, so I guess for wget also there's a equivalent like fetch. If
Yeah.
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 So we can,
But I guess fetch is already there. Yeah.
okay. Looks like DigitalOcean installs them default.
Yeah.
they
I guess
come
I guess installation installs in default because when I tried locally, all of these are not installed.
Got it. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, now I guess we can change the sysctl. Before that, I think we should just go to their handbook, FreeBSD handbook. Maybe we should talk about it.
So this people consider handbook as the holy grail in FreeBSD. Any question you have or any documentation related information you need, this is the place you have to go, and pretty much everything you will find here. And the history is maintained since I guess 70s or 80s. Since whenever this project was started, the history has been maintained since then. So like arts documentation is pretty extensive and pretty cool in Linux. Similarly, FreeBSD handbook is also like extensive,
Yeah.
and you'll pretty much find everything. So we'll try to find if we have something for sysctl. Yeah, here we go. Alright, so
Yeah.
these are the default values.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I can think of
Max files.
max files. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the setting. So
Yeah. Can you check what is the current setting right now?
so we can just check this. 31,000.
Yeah. I guess this is pretty cool, right?
Yeah, I guess in Linux it's pretty less, right?
Yeah. By default, it's like 1024.
Yeah, 1024. Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I guess
we can still increase. Let's increase
Yeah,
it
we
to
can.
probably 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay. Alright. So
Yeah.
does this need a reload?
I don't think so. Any new process that starts from now onward should automatically take this.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, so it doesn't actually is persistent. We should make this persistent.
Is it with -p?
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Okay.
We can edit the file.
Let me try running this.
Oh, I guess not. Okay.
I guess we just have to. Oh, -W might do the trick. -W, I guess it's for writing.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not there. What we can do is we can just edit and we can reload sysctl.
Yeah, right.
Okay. So, okay, and sysctl reload will be.
So instead of doing this, right, I think we should first check the manual case. Can you see man sysctl?
Right.
That's even a better way of doing this.
Both these are the.
Yeah. Okay, -W option has been deprecated, it says.
Yeah.
That's why it didn't work for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Deprecated, but there's no alternative out there. It's fine. Anyway, we have persisted in our file, so let's see.
Yeah. So when it restarts, anyways, it will automatically load it.
So we log out and log in.
No. When it reboots, right, it reloads.
Okay.
So it's persistent because we put it in sysctl.com. Yeah.
We can try this also.
Yeah.
Does it have a state? Sysctl is not running.
I don't think we should start that.
Okay.
I'm not sure what that is.
Yeah. I'll do a reboot.
Not needed. We already set normally also, right? So
okay,
that value should applicable for this time.
Sure.
But when we reboot, we should take it from the conf file.
Yeah.
So I guess this is good. Yeah. One other thing I can think of right now, which we need to set, is IP forwarding.
Okay.
Right. So what IP forwarding basically does is that it's similar to IP forwarding in Linux also.
Yeah.
So IP forwarding, when for example, let's say a particular you have a tunnel interface,
Yeah.
right? Let's say it's 192.168.1.5, right?
Okay.
And you have multiple devices connected to it through the same tunnel.
Okay.
So if one of them basically, let's say one other device, let's say your mobile,
Yeah.
right? It's 1.2, and when your laptop is 1.6, and your actual machine is 1.4. Now, if 1.2 wants to talk to 1.6, right?
Yeah.
So what will happen is that since your mobile doesn't really connect to the laptop directly, right?
Yeah.
It has to go through the server.
Okay.
Correct. So when you switch on IP forwarding here, what will happen is mobile knows that anything which starts with 1.0/24, right?
Yeah.
Has to go to the server.
Right.
So all 1.6 packets goes to the server.
Okay.
So if you forward IP forwarding there, the packets will be automatically routed to 1.6 here.
Okay.
This is all done transparently. So we don't need to worry about how do we route packets between multiple devices and all. Since we are going to set up multiple jails, right, which may need to talk to each other,
Right.
we should have this IP forwarding set.
Got it. So
Yeah.
we can.
Yeah, we should get the what it's called, underscore forwarding, I guess.
Okay. First, let's go through the list.
Yeah. I don't think this is the full.
That's the type.
Yeah, if you do sysctl-a, you should get the all parameters. We can grep through that.
Right.
Can you do IP_?
We can do less.
Networking, search for networking. Okay. You can just grep for underscore, right? It will come, most probably. That's all it's in Linux also.
For IP_.
Yeah. Yeah, still a lot, I guess. IP_, no.
No.
Okay.
Um,
Can you go to the iocage iocage documentation or GitHub? I guess they should have written about this. What parameters needs to set? No. Okay. Yeah.
IP.forwarding.
Yeah.
So
But wait. Can you go back? Yeah. Yeah. We can set this.
we can set all of these.
Not exactly. We don't need all of this.
Okay,
See,
okay.
the
These are
thing
the-
here is that they say that if he is VNet, right?
Yeah.
I don't think we are going to use VNet. I mean, I'll explain what VNet is. Yeah. We don't need VNet. It's a new thing, so it's not so stable.
Okay.
We'll just use normal networking. That's it. VNet is basically like virtual networks, like bridge networks in Linux.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. We should set this in the file also.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I guess that's it, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you go back to the actual FreeBSD handbook? Yeah. Can you go to the index? Yeah. If we go to the top after installation, they might be giving what we can do.
Time zones.
Yeah. I think we should set the time zone correctly.
So password we won't bother because we are using SSH. And
Yeah.
we'll disable SSH password based
Yeah,
authentication.
correct. Yeah,
First,
let's do
let's do
that.
that.
Yeah. So it should be in APC SSHD. No, it's in SSH only. SSH.
Okay.
SSH. After that, SSHD config. Yeah.
We
If
can.
you, there should be a password authentication. If you search for.
Got it.
Yeah. We should just remove the.
Default
Yeah.
is no, by the way.
Yeah. No, the default is yes. I think.
No.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just save it. That's it. Yeah. We should restart SSH.
Okay.
So we can service restart.
RST. Okay, we can do service restart.
Yeah. I guess. Let's try.
Oh, it worked.
Yeah. So it works. Yeah. We don't have to actually do RCD. Okay. Cool. So what else should we do?
Now the time zone.
Time zone. Yeah.
So we'll see what the default time zone is. It's UTC.
It's in UTC.
Let's set up
we should
IST.
change it to IST.
Okay, so
No, we should. This is basically when we're installing it.
right.
Right. Yeah, we want to set up normally, not during installation. Can you just search for timeline there?
Easy setup. It looks like.
Hmm.
So, or yeah, you can do the
Yeah,
etc local
yeah.
time
This
as
is
well.
same as Linux also.
Linux, yeah.
Yeah. So we can just copy. Can
If
what
we,
exactly Steve is setting?
I think it sets up by default. It reads a database of time zone and presents, or maybe it's interactive. So let
Yeah.
me just try that, I
Let's
guess.
try it. Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
Asia, India,
Yeah.
yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Cool.
will my etc local time also change?
Yeah. It should. Yeah. It says IST. I'm
IST?
not sure what this
Yeah.
DB is, but yeah.
Something happened.
Yeah. I think some Unicode issue.
Yeah.
We should just log out and log in.
Oh, oh, is it because of our teammate?
Yeah, that might be possible. Can you start a new terminal in Tmux? Yeah.
Because.
So yeah, let's just exit that.
Haha.
Hmm.
Can I just test if it happened because of reading that file again? We'll just.
Yeah, yeah, fine. You can test.
No, it's something
No,
weird.
this is some weird issue. I'm guessing some local issue only. Yeah,
Should we set that also?
yeah. I guess it's set automatically, but yeah, let's see.
It's there in the
I think it's
macbook.
just yeah,
Okay. Again.
just local.
It's empty
Yeah, this
actually.
is shitty. Yeah, so we should set it to. Can you go up? Yeah.
Oh, we just need UTF-8.
Yeah, we just need EN US UTF-8.
It says we have to update login.conf. I'm not sure why.
Hmm. The problem is all of these are very old blogs, right? So there might be better ways of doing things.
Yeah, that's why you should just stick to
Yeah,
the
can you do
handbook.
man local?
Oh, by the way, this also says login.conf.
Okay. Hmm.
Yeah.
Ah,
So, okay, this is setting in. So we'll just use this example and configure UTF-8.
yeah,
Probably that guy has done the same thing. That person.
yeah, correct.
Yeah.
No, can you just wait? Can you go back? Yeah, correct.
Oops. Vim also you have to configure, but that we can do it later.
Yeah. I'm not sure if this will mess up the actual thing.
Let's see. Oops. Oh, something weird is happening.
Hmm.
Okay. Looks fine, I guess.
Yeah, just remove the space after me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right. Rebuild. So this rebuilds. It's mentioned in the documentation as well.
yeah. Wait, we need to edit. etc login.conf also, I guess.
That's
Can you
what
just
I.
edit it? Can you just open the file? Maybe there is something on it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I guess we can just add it here.
Yeah. We can.
Yeah,
Let's
can you go down? Maybe there is an include somewhere which automatically takes it.
No. But this should be in default anyway. So let's add it in default.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Let me see. Let me copy it on the. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, we should do cap and KTB.
Yeah. So file.
No, I guess this doesn't set it. It just builds it. Can you go back?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to relog in, I guess, to take it.
Cool.
Yeah, yeah. So it works.
Does that still happen with the time?
Yeah, I don't think this is very
No, no,
sure.
no. I think this is fine.
Yeah, that is some binary database, I guess.
Yeah.
So
Got it.
cat is not able to properly show it.
Right.
Yeah.
So, alright. So, I'll just make a note of things we are doing.
Yeah.
This firewall we are yet to do.
So firewall, I'm still thinking, do we need to do in FreeBSD or we can just use
Dropbox.
DigitalOcean
Yeah.
firewall? Yeah.
So,
Okay, I guess you can remove firewall. Yeah. Let's just use.
okay. SSH. Okay.
Yeah. So I guess for
So,
now
all this is
we are
done.
done.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can install Python maybe because later on if we use Ansible, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, we might need it.
And iocage also might have
Yeah,
the.
iocage also might need Python.
Right. So, let's see if they have mentioned anything. Yeah,
No, they
they have.
didn't. I mean, this is all if you have to do manually, but yeah, we're not going to do manually. We'll use the ports only for installing iocage.
If I install iocage with this, will it? I'm guessing it will install Python also with it with this
Yeah, yeah,
dependency.
probably.
Let's try that instead of.
Mm.
Okay. So actually, they are still on Python 3.6, but it's okay.
Maybe that might be old. Yeah. Can you try 3.8?
It's quite weird that they haven't mentioned in updated
Yeah,
documentation.
3.7. Yeah. Okay. So can you go up? Yeah. Let's see if it actually installs. It's installing a lot of Python packages though.
So it should install
Maybe
the
Python
Python.
already exists, I guess.
No, it doesn't.
Let's try.
So see, it's did our terminal get stuck?
No. That's fine.
So parallel uses C Python
Python 3.7, right?
3.7.
Yeah, it's there. So yeah, okay. That's why I guess we got 3.7 only for iocage, because
Okay.
we have 3.7.
Right, right,
I
right.
guess that they are still talking about 12 or 11.6 or 11.7. I guess
Okay.
previous version.
S- 15B.
Yeah, I mean they shouldn't take this much time. It's a little bit slow. I guess it's downloading from mirror somewhere.
Yeah. Okay. Meanwhile, this updates. Let's see what else we have. So we'll install
Yeah, we
iocage.
have to talk about and read about jails, right? How do
Yeah.
we set up a jail? I guess we can go to the documentation and just see
Handbook.
what else. Not handbook. Yeah, we can see the handbook regarding jails. Yeah. Okay.
All right. So
So this is jails built upon the CH root concept,
concept. Yeah.
which is used to change the root directory. So this is similar to Linux only.
Yeah.
So no difference here. Yeah. Hmm. So yeah, so the reason we are going to run all of this in jails is like if you compromise this, you
Yeah.
can't actually access something on the host.
Got it.
So this is
Anything
similar
else we run
to,
in a separate jail
yeah,
environment,
yeah, yeah,
that will be okay. That will not be
yeah,
accessible.
yeah. It will not be accessible. So
Do you have any
hmm,
idea about like it needs root access or anything? Because Docker, like most of the people just run containers with root user, and I guess for some people, if they don't know that if you run a uh, container with the root user, you are basically a root
hmm,
on the host as well, because it uses the same
yeah,
UID GID, right?
hmm, hmm, hmm.
So I'm not sure how jails is in that aspect to read
Yeah,
a
I'm also
command.
not sure, but I don't think, as far as I know, I don't think they let you do that.
Okay,
Uh,
okay,
so I don't think you can escape to the host in any way from a jail.
okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah. So it shouldn't really matter. So whatever the user on the host side, it shouldn't
Right.
matter inside the jail.
But one thing I find different is that so they
Hmm.
mention that in a traditional chroot environment, processes are only limited in the part of file system. So this they are
Hmm.
talking about the file system namespace.
Yeah, correct.
And other things, all the other namespaces, process and network and user namespace, they
Hmm.
are part of the host.
Hmm.
So okay, so jails just adds all of those namespaces in the chroot environment as well. So
Yeah,
okay, basically similar to Docker,
yeah, similar to Docker. Yeah. That's good.
right?
So yeah, so it's similar to this. Yeah. So they say it's characterized by four elements: a directory subtree.
Yeah, yeah.
This is similar to
File
CH root.
system
It's just a
namespace,
CH root.
yeah,
Yeah, host name. So
yeah.
this is a separate host name.
User namespace,
So yeah, yeah, and an IP address.
yeah.
So we have to alias some kind of IP address. So this is similar to setting up a Docker interface, network
Okay,
interface,
yeah,
and we need a command. This is the same command in Docker also.
like the CMD, yeah.
Yeah, same. So yeah, I think there shouldn't be a problem for us because this is all looks similar
Oh,
to
they
Docker
have
only.
explicitly mentioned that the root account of jail is not allowed to perform operations to the system outside of associated jail
Okay.
environment.
Yeah, then yeah, this is what I thought. So this is the cool part then. This is not like Docker
Right, right,
in this
right.
way. Yeah. So what I've heard, I mean, I'm not sure, I'm not knowledgeable enough on it, but that jails is more secure than a container. I mean, obviously you can make a container more
Secure.
secure, more
Yeah,
isolated, but
yeah,
yeah,
with the
jails is by default more secure than a container.
yeah. And actually, I noticed that FreeBSD defaults are better than Linux defaults. Like so far, what
Yeah,
we were configuring in sysctl and all.
yeah, that's true, that's true.
Nice. So Okay. So, right. So we can just. This is done. iocage is done.
Yeah.
Should we?
So there is a command called jls. This basically tells you all the jails which are running right now.
Okay.
Yeah. If you do man jls, we should see.
Um,
So using just jail command, right, we can manually like do all of this, right?
right.
But the manual way of doing jails is, let's say you have ZFS, right?
Right.
So you will create a new ZFS pool,
Yeah.
okay, a new ZFS dataset, and you tell the jail command to use that particular ZFS dataset. ZFS dataset, kind of think of it like a partition in Linux, in ext4, like a partition, right?
Yeah.
So you mount it to boot, you mount it to host home slash something, uh, things like the slash mount. You mount a partition. Right? The same way you create a ZFS dataset, and
Okay.
you tell the jail that this is the ch root environment.
Got it.
This is where all the file system lives for this jail.
Okay, for that particular.
Yeah. So like you see here, right, in a jail.config,
Yeah.
we have to basically do all of this.
The pathway. Okay.
Yeah. So this is, I mean, I guess this is not that difficult manually doing this, but it's just that we
iocage
have to
was
manually create data sets, IO pool and all. Doing this for each one of the jail we are doing, I mean, kind of becomes old. So
okay. So
that's why
that's
we're
why
using
we have
iocage.
iocage.
Yeah. iocage is like Docker, right? So it's pretty easy. Like, I guess we can go to the documentation iocage.
Let me know that.
Yeah.
So okay,
Yeah.
installing is
If
done.
we, yeah,
Setting
basic
it.
usage, you can see. Yeah. So it says it has 4 environment variables.
These are all.
iocage log into colored CLI,
Yeah.
automatic migrations and plugin IP. I don't think we need any of this,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. We can just check what we have.
Yeah.
Okay, it doesn't set anything, but if someone wants, we can. Let's
Yeah.
do this.
Yeah.
Cool.
Mm. Yeah. So it says before iocage is functional, it needs to activate. Essentially, iocage needs to link with a usable jet pool. In
Okay.
most cases, activation is automatic to the primary system jet pool, which is okay for us. See, for example, if you want to store your jail in a separate jet pool, right?
Yeah.
Let's say you have a different disk,
Right.
right? Not the actual disk which where your operating system is running on right now. Then we can create a separate J pool,
Right.
and then use that as the iocage where all the jails live. But
Okay.
we don't need to do that.
We can.
We can just use the default
Zero.
jet pool, which is the J root. Yeah. So iocage automatically uses this. We don't need to do much.
Got it. So.
Since the J pool already exists, right?
Yeah.
So what iocage will do is it will automatically create a dataset in the jet root.
Okay. Okay.
After this, we need to do iocage fetch. This basically just shows all the releases available. So all the FreeBSD releases available, which we can choose. Now you can see all the yeah.
Oh, we haven't done iocage activate.
Yeah, I guess it's not needed, but yeah, let's try.
Z pool. I
Zero.
can give zero.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
So now.
Can you try fetch again?
Yeah.
So it says we need to set a mount point on G root iocase. Okay, I guess it does automatically. But yeah, since it's not doing that, we should maybe search for this. Can you do ZFS list? Okay, so we have a Z root iocase, right?
Yeah.
So we need to set a mount point for this, basically in our file system, right? So this is, think of Z root slash iocase as a partition name. We need to mount it somewhere,
Got it. Got
right?
it. So.
Yeah. So we need to no, instead of using mount, right, we should use ZFS.
Okay.
Like, can you search
How to mount?
in Google setting mount point for a ZFS dataset? No, don't see. Yeah. Yeah, set mount point. Yeah, yeah, that's it. So yeah, we should create some directory.
It's
That's
called
the slash iocage maybe. Okay.
it's called data to avoid confusion.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, let's mount it to there. Data and zero slash iocase. Yeah. Now can you run fetch?
Yeah,
Yeah, it shows everything. Yeah, fine.
nice. So iocage fetch.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So we will use the third one, right?
Yeah,
12.1.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you can just write 3 in it. Yeah. This is kind of like downloading the image, Docker image, basically.
I have a doubt. So let's say we have to run Alpine. So
Yeah.
we have to do iocage fetch Alpine or something like that. Or
No, we can't run Alpine on this. It, since the kernel is shared, right?
okay.
Yeah, yeah. So it doesn't really work that way.
Shit, my bad.
So we have to, yeah. So we have to only run FreeBSD images here.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe there is a way, but I'm not sure. There is a Linux compat thing, compat library.
So,
I don't think it works that well.
so all these Linux images, okay. I mean, all these Linux images, they have something like Slim, Ubuntu Minimal, Alpine.
Yeah, yeah. That is just Docker thing, right?
Right,
Where
right.
Docker
So
is.
I was thinking if they also have to reduce the image size or something like that. But then I guess here we don't need to bother about that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't think this is such a large thing. It's actually pretty small. So
Okay.
yeah.
So just to get it right,
Hmm.
what I'm currently doing is basically I'm fetching the base image for jail to run my container. I mean, run my processes on.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Basically, this what it does is it downloads the current FreeBSD image, right? 12.1,
Yeah.
uh, a whole thing with base source libraries and everything, and extracts it to a chroot environment,
Okay.
right? Which is in our slash data slash
Slash data.
jails
Yeah. Yeah.
slash data slash images, I guess, because or releases either one of them. I'm not sure which one, but yeah,
Okay. Okay.
it either
So
releases downloads in there.
right.
So
Right.
next time you create a jail, right? You need to give which image to use, which release to use, basically. Release is, I guess, is the correct term here.
Okay.
Which release to use.
So we'll give
So
this one.
if we say 12.1 release, it will create the jail with this release.
Got it.
So first time it has to download, it takes time.
Yeah. Yeah. Alright. So
Yeah, after that,
we can
I think just
see how to
mention,
create a jail.
yeah,
Normal and base.
and
Okay.
yeah,
We can
let's
see
see what
what's a
jail
normal
types
and
are.
okay. So
Clone, base jail, template, empty, and tick jail. Okay.
so this is something like Docker where only the incremental
Yeah,
data
yeah,
is
yeah,
changed.
correct.
Um, easy jail, but I will.
So EasyJail is an old tool people used to use for managing jails. I
Okay.
guess it's not been updated from long time. So most people have migrated to
Yeah, yeah,
iocase now.
yeah. 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah. So they are saying base jails in iocase are mounts in a jail XTAP that are mounted at jail startup. Okay. Once their base jails mount their XTAP mounts at startup, they're ideal for environments where
Patch
immediate
it.
patching or upgrading of multiple jails is required. I guess we can create a base jail and create jails on top of it, I guess.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Templates or yeah, probably once we have a custom jail, we can just template
yeah,
it out.
yeah. So for everything else, we can create a jail from this template.
Right. So
Yeah.
okay,
For
the
example,
networking.
if we need to install Python everywhere,
Yeah,
let's say,
yeah.
yeah, we can just install it in a jail and template it out and create everything from
Okay.
there. Yeah,
MT is unsupported, only for experimentation and all. Thick
yeah,
jails
yeah.
is okay. So they copy the release every time on creation.
Okay, okay.
I guess base is good enough for us.
Uh, Normal is good enough. Base, we don't need base, only base. Just normal jail, right?
Oh, right.
Yeah, yeah. This, yeah, should be good enough for us.
So we don't give hyphen
So by
B.
default, it creates a normal jail. So yeah.
So
So
latest, yeah,
one thing I have found out is that whenever we're creating a jail, right,
yeah,
that hyphen and basically what it does, it gives a name
right.
to a jail. Yeah, we should always give a name to a jail.
So we'll give it unbound for this.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, let's see. It's updating the FreeBSD release.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So what I'm like observing so far, it basically there are very less magic points happening in the system. I mean, everything
Yeah,
you can just go and read up the documentation what it does, and you come back, you apply, and you see
yeah,
it's very apparent.
yeah,
Unlike Docker, where like hundreds of things happen behind the scenes,
yeah.
and you basically, if you have to know all of that, you have to dig very deep in. And
Hmm, hmm.
I'm pretty sure the documentation is
But
not.
I guess Docker got popular because of that, right? Like you don't have to do this. Most people are not willing to do this.
Yeah,
That go and read
that's.
what makes a jail.
I mean, for now, I'm pretty sure that this uh, Docker, what we do is fine. But let's say we are like tinkering around and like hobby projects and all. I guess
Yeah,
FreeBSD deserves some time and experimentation
yeah,
to
yeah. Correct,
get
correct.
in.
Hmm.
So we have the option of giving release
Yeah,
or
or
latest.
latest. I guess latest is also fine.
Yeah, because yeah, it will put on as the latest. So we'll
Yeah,
just
yeah,
do unbound.
yeah.
Alright, so we are creating our first jail.
Jail right now.
Nice.
Okay. So yeah, it's automatically created.
Yeah.
So
So we
I
can
don't
say
think it
jail.
starts automatically. So we have to start it.
So sure. Okay.
Yeah. So we should. Can you do iocage list?
Yeah. Right.
Okay. Currently the state is down here.
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah. So before starting it, right? I think if you go back to the iocage list, right? It says that there is no IPv4 address for it.
Right.
Right.
So
Yeah, we should set an address.
do you
So this
think?
is the thing, like what Docker does is that it automatically starts a new
Yeah.
interface
On creation.
and yeah, does it automatically, right?
Okay.
So yeah, so we should,
So
yeah, we should go to networking. So here two things we need to consider. Thing is shared IP and VNet, right?
we need as a
But
bridge.
yeah, VNet is a bridge basically. Okay, we don't really need a VNet basically because first of all the problem here is still experimental, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so we should just use shared IP. So what shared IP basically does is that it's just um, like any interface you have right now, right, locally.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just uses the same tunnel to use an IP.
Okay.
For example, if you see the configure an IP address section, right, it clearly says EM0, right, and gives an IP. What
Right.
it does is all the packets are routed through EM0 for that.
Can I see the interfaces list?
Yeah, so address is basically, yeah, it's a Linux thing. Ifconfig is the Unix thing.
The same command
Yeah,
works on OS X also.
yeah,
Yeah.
correct.
Okay.
Hmm.
So they call it
So
BTB
here,
connection.
yeah,
So we
so
have
I
to.
think, The private one here is, this is a public one, VTnet 0 is a public one.
VTnet 1
We
is
should
separate.
do the private one. Yeah. So I think on VTnet 1 we can do this.
Alright, let me
Yeah.
build.
So we'll only have single IP. That's enough for us.
So we'll do 32.
No, just remove the whole thing. So here they are setting two IPs for a single jail.
Yeah.
We don't need it.
So
Yeah. So we'll write VTnet 0.
right here. Right. So oops. VTnet 1, right?
Yeah, sorry. And yeah, remove this whole thing. Let's make a new IP range. Let's call it 192.168. It's more easy
That
to remember.
leads to conflict, man. But okay.
I mean, there's nothing here to conflict. There's no interface like that. So yeah, 10 we can start. 10 /1/24 might be.
So
Yeah. So what it does is 10.1 to 10.255.
we can. There's one cool site we can see
Yeah.
how much range it will have. So we have 192, 168,
10 dot.
10.1, 24.
Yeah.
So we're reserving some 256 IPs for one
Yeah.
unbound. Don't you think it's
I mean, it's okay. It's not a problem.
okay? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is all virtual IPs.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. Unbound.
Yeah.
So iocage list should have the IP associated.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Good. Can you do if config? We should see this IP for this interface also.
So
Yeah, I guess it isn't started, right? So obviously it won't come. Yeah.
okay. Got it.
Yeah. Once you start, I guess it sets the routes. So iocage start unbound.
Yeah. Start.
Yeah.
Okay. So they say partial entries are also acceptable.
Okay. Yeah. Here it sets.
That's it.
Yeah, it works. So currently, if you see JLS, it should show it.
It does. Nice.
Yeah, it does. Nice. So it shows the path also. So we should be able to log in into this, right? I mean, exec into this.
Let's see what's
No,
going there.
we can't. Yeah.
So basically,
So this is the whole.
inside
Yeah,
the.
this is the whole FreeBSD route, basically. New FreeBSD route.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Don't. Yeah. Yeah, it's fine. Can you say JLS? Yeah.
Man jealous.
No, not man JLS. So there should be a way to exit into the container, right? Yeah, it's there. Can you go down? So it says JExec, right? Can you see man JExec? Yeah, executes command inside the jail identified by its JID or name. So we just have to do JExec, jail, and the command. So just like Docker exec. So
No -IT and all that.
yeah, we don't need to do that, I guess. It's interactive by default.
Jealous. JID. I'll try with one.
Yeah, it works. So /bin/sh.
Slash.
No, remove echo.
Yeah.
No, you don't have to do all of that. Just do /bin/sh.
Right.
Yeah,
We're
so we
inside
got
the-
it. Yeah, we're inside this. Huh?
Yeah.
So we should maybe install bash or something.
No, man. Let's keep it minimal. Because this is only for Unbound, right? Or
Yeah, but maybe we might have to install Vim, I guess. Can you try? Yeah, Vim is in there.
So
we can
that
install Vim.
confirms the hypothesis that all of that was installed by DO.
Yeah, correct.
So ports must be there. So
Yeah, you can just do package install Vim. It will figure it out.
install bash perl vim What else?
Yeah. So what we'll do, right, after installing all of this, we'll make a template. Okay. So next time we don't have to do this.
This is pretty cool. See, the package management tool is not yet installed, so you
Yeah.
want to fetch.
We want to fetch and install it. So
Quite
yeah, it
liking it.
automatically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think if you noticed, but iocage also had some default configuration missing, and it only set it and then it ran. So
Yeah. Correct.
it's like you are seeing less errors and you are doing more work, and you are getting same defaults everywhere. That's quite unlike Linux.
Yeah. I mean, Linux also, I guess, used to be like this. It's just too many things now.
Yeah.
Like we know the whole DNS thing, right?
Basically,
how many places you need to change
the
a setting of
complexities
DNS.
in Ubuntu systems for DNS, or like systemd resolve, updating your etc resolve,
And the whole
or
system is kind of that way.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
even the network manager tries to be aggressive.
Yeah. And the network manager also varies now because, for example, in Ubuntu, right? Ubuntu uses something called NetPlan now. Right?
Okay.
Yeah, network manager is basically uses the NetPlan configuration in Ubuntu.
Okay.
So since there is no network manager in Ubuntu servers, right? So it's all NetPlan. It's all done using NetPlan.
Okay.
Yeah. But now you have to learn what NetPlan is. So NetPlan is basically YAML files. Right, suddenly. For some reason they thought they'll use YAML files.
Oh, this is interesting.
Yeah.
Because this YAML culture is probably more from dominated more from the DevOps world.
Yeah.
And now Ubuntu is also getting it. So
Hmm.
okay, so
Yes, there was some error here.
not resolved.
Can we? Yeah. Yes, maybe there is a DNS fail or something.
So my hotel just hung.
Yeah.
Do you curl or fetch anything? Okay, fetch is there. Let me see if I can access google.com. I don't know how to.
No, you have to do HTTP. Fetch HTTP.
Okay. You think?
No, I think the DNS
network.
Yeah, some network issues there.
Does it have something like NS lookup that we can check?
No.
How to check?
Can you say etcresolve.com? Okay, I'm not sure what this is.
Is your telnet or something? Okay. So I mean,
No, we can't
this is
do
UTP,
telnet.
right?
Yeah, we can't do telnet. So for some reason we can't talk to this thing, right?
We can run netcat, maybe. NC. NC is there.
Yeah.
See, let me just try reaching 53 on TCP, and because NC has an option of UDP also.
Yeah. Okay, I might know what is the problem here.
First of all, this IP address is the floating IP address, right? This is by the DO.
Yeah, this is DOS DNS, I think. Can we try changing it to some 1.1 and try? V is there, yeah. That's it.
Oh, again that local issue again.
Yeah.
Again, man.
Oh. So wait. Can you see the etcresolve.conf here on the host? I think I might know what the issue is. Basically, the interface we tied this jail to, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it has internet access. So we should, I guess, tie the whole thing to 0 instead of 1.
Let's print it out then first.
Yeah. Let's stop it.
But that's weird. I mean, how can the private IP not have internet access?
I mean, that's normal, right? So I guess stop, I think.
Stop. Correct. Stop and go.
Yeah.
So we
Do the first one. There, configure an IP address.
this one only, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I guess it will override. So let me just.
Yeah, yeah. Let it stop. For some reason it's stuck. Maybe because you are exit into the container. Can you stop it?
No. I mean, it would have taken time
Yeah,
to
no,
unzip the
stop,
shell.
stop. Yeah, yeah. It worked. Yeah, just exit this.
That shell is gone anyway. Alright.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Yeah, it will override. So
if config we have.
Yeah. On VTnet 0, let's set all of this. And yeah, same IP.
192.168.10.1.
Yeah.
Unbound.
Unbound.
It shows what changed.
Yeah, yeah.
That's nice. So I get start.
Yes. Yeah, just started. Unbound. Yeah, can you see IF config now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's try exiting into it and see if it works.
I think we need to install
Except
some
two.
ZSH or something better.
Yeah, we can do that later. Yeah, except two.
One.
No, two. The news JID is two.
Oh, wait. So JLS IPD. That would okay. Still.
Yeah, it shows two. I guess it doesn't use the same jail ID, even though we deleted it.
Right. So. I'll try doing a fetch. Not sure if DNS is the issue or something else. But if we can't even install NSLookup or anything, how will we?
I mean, yeah, let's just Google and find out. Yeah, it's still not able to fetch anything.
No address record. That means DNS.
Yeah. We can do one thing. Can you open up another terminal? Let's run some kind of server here, okay, on the host, and see if it's able to talk to the host. Should be able to talk to it. 3.7.
8,000. So we can go here. We can do fetch HTTP. We can give the IP address of
we need to give the private IP of this.
But it's tied to another network interface, right?
No, it's fine. It should automatically discover that. No. Can you do IF config here? Okay. Yeah, this is okay. Seems okay. So yeah, can you just find out what is the IP on the host, private IP on the host?
Yeah. Okay.
No, VTnet 1 only. Yeah, it's there. Just copy it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It worked. So the problem is internet.
Problem is DNS server. Wait.
Yeah. No, problem is internet, not DNS server.